Eunos Roadster, and they definitely call it the MX-5, have celebrated 30th anniversary of this Roadster is now going in for this update in Gran Turismo Sport. So, looks like the first generation is finally going in to take on a good racing opportunity to be able to get everything started. So for this custom race, I'll be able to get ready to go and get started with this Eunos Roadster in a special package 1989. So looks like this is a very good Roadster because this is definitely a premiumized detailed car. So looks like this is going to be a one special video for a Mazda Roadster to be able to get started. So this is a very good Roadster, and this is definitely the original. So this is definitely that everybody talks about it, and this is going to be quite very excellent. So this will be able to have the good specs to be able to get a good look on it. Max horsepower is 117, max torque is 101.2, and the weight pound is 2072, and the drivetrain is FR. So that was definitely brilliant and excellent. So this is definitely, the transmission gear is definitely 5.5, but this is definitely quite very amazing to be able to have a 5-speed transmission for this first generation Roadster. So this is a very good Japanese vehicle because this is definitely a one basic start to be able to go and get this Roadster to be able to be prepared for. So it was definitely 30 years ago since Mazda made the Eunos Roadsters, and this is how they really like it, and that's how they just really wanted to have this car to be quite very popular. So maybe this will be able to get started. So this will be able to choosing on short tracks because this is going to get everything settled to be able to get started. So maybe this will be able to have 3 laps for this Roadster for this race, and this is going to be excellent. So looks like taking on the first round is going to be able to do a Suzuka East course. So this will be able to get ready because this is definitely might be prepared to do it. So it's definitely pretty good to be able to have a classic red color because this is definitely much very original for it. So it also appears in the first Gran Turismo games and every other Gran Turismo series featuring this Roadster. So there's some few specific types of variation models of the Mazda MX-5. So this is definitely the NA special package is definitely the original. So this is definitely, the Roadster drives very good, and it works pretty well to be able to get a good handling point to be able to get everything started. So I really guess that this will be able to have 4 laps for this race. So this will be able to do a grid start because this will be able to have an opponent category will be going on M100. Just gonna get everything set up, and then so looks like it will be ready to go. So let's just go for to take the good joyride with the Mazda MX-5 to be able to get ready to race. So definitely in the first 2 Gran Turismo games, it also has any kinds of variant colors when putting up a race modification. So that will be quite giving the good shown differences of each specific types of variation, types of rim styles and colors as well for it. So maybe this is definitely original to be able to choose one of each kind of a specific MX-5 models will be able to go and take a good look for it. And there's only have one color that also has a single color with a J limited version for it. Kind of guess that the Sunburst Yellow is the color because this is definitely quite very excellent. So taking on the first race is going on is the Suzuka East course. So let's go and get ready to get started because this will be able to have to give a one simple line race to be able to get ready. I hope this MX-5 is definitely drive pretty well. So this is definitely quite very good for a convertible Roadster to be able to have a hard top on it. So maybe convertible top might be works well for it, like the Honda Beat and any other Roadster models is definitely shown as well for it. Now looks like taking on the race for the N100 is definitely going in for one simple cruise for it, just kind of to make it a little bit nice and turn for it. Now, this is definitely one good original interior view to be able to take a good look on it. So this is very good original for the MX-5 to be able to drive well for it. So this is definitely also has a two-seater, was definitely included because that could be quite very useful to be able to do a little more driving test for it. And eventually, this is definitely quite very good to be able to have a classic red color to be able to take a good cruising around to look at it for it. So this is definitely one of the most main popular car in every Gran Turismo game because this one never gives up for any chances to be able to drive this first generation Roadster. So this will be able to look around to see it because these are definitely quite good to see it. Speed monitor is definitely quite getting the shown on the original by showing the touch monitor while speeding up the distance. Now, looks like this is going to be able to keep holding up for it. Just get a little nice and easy turn. So this is definitely one super surprising guess for it. Well, maybe one surprising guess that could be quite very impressive to be able to get a good shown on it. So different variation type of specific models of the Mazda MX-5 vehicle. So it also shows any kinds of variation stripes since Gran Turismo 6. But it was quite very interesting to be able to change certain kinds of color to be able to select and pick on it. So that could be quite very surprising guess to be able to look for it. And eventually, I kind of guess that the MX-5 was definitely able to have a race modification version of it. So it's definitely an Eunos Roadster touring car was definitely seen in Gran Turismo 5 Spec 2.0 update as a DLC pack along with the other race cars. So this one definitely drives pretty well to be able to have a light turn on it. So it also has that hidden headlights included because this is definitely became one very good touring race car like any other race modifications since GT1 and 2. Now, looks like this is going to get a little bit much further closer, just giving one good chance for the MX-5 to make a good overtake on the Alpine A110. This will be able to get a good opportunity to be able to get one good comeback to be able to be prepared for it for a long wait. Okay, get everything a little bit slided in, keep it nice and steady. Unfortunately, this Roadster drives well, but this may be able to have a good lightweight handling turns that will also drive faster to get a good lightly effect. Well, mostly like Japanese K cars, they drive pretty well that might need any certain horsepower to be improved. Now, looks like this is going to get a little bit more passing overtake going in for it. Blue flag comes in and then make the last place driver to go in, and then the first place runners will be able to go forward. Now this is definitely excellent. Going in to take the final lap of this stage, and then this will be able to go drive smoothly to be able to get a good handling effect for it. So any kinds of certain color variations of the Mazda Roadster first generation models. So it's also divided into each certain kinds of specific titles with using the same model. So the S Special is definitely also has another variation convertible top that's definitely shown for it, which is definitely the cream white color. So that also shows to be able to get a good interesting color detail view to see it, but this will also show on the exterior view whenever you see it when playing the game for it. So the B Special, it also has 3 certain colors with a different hardtop convertible type in it, so this is going to be quite interesting to be able to find something to be rediscovered for it. So looks like that was a pretty good race, and then giving a first place earnings, we'll be able to get everything settled for it. Now this is definitely the first round of the race that might be able to get going in for. Now maybe for the next course, so this will be able to have another variation short track to be able to go for. So I really guess that this will be able to have to go over to the next track. Autopolis shortcut course is definitely quite giving the excellent ways to do it. So this will also have to change the different time conditions we'll be able to get started for. So maybe the MX-5 drives very well for any good handling corner sports. So there might be some other specific types of Mazda Roadsters is definitely able to go in for. So the Roadster RS is definitely the second generation of the MX-5. So this definitely has headlights on it. So maybe you might be able to have to get to know all the certain generation models of the Mazda Roadster. It's definitely able to show any differences of each certain models for it. So right now, racing on shortcut course on Autopolis is definitely quite giving excellent to be able to get started. So let's get it on and let's do it for race number 2 for the MX-5 to be prepared. So looks like the Roadster ND is now definitely joining in for the race. So this is definitely giving a good choice to be able to get ready to go. So looks like just gonna get everything needs to be able to putting on a little braking point to be very careful. Slow cars are very challenging to be able to find a way to make an excuse. Alright, going in, taking on that first turn to slide it in for it. So that will be quite very impressive to be able to get a good handling turn effect on it. Now, giving it one good opportunity for the Mazda Eunos Roadster to be able to go for it. A single color version of the MX-5 is definitely the J Limited model. It only goes for a single color. It's the Sunburst Yellow. It is definitely a variant type version of the MX-5. So it also has single color with the Sunburst Yellow. So this is definitely a special one. So maybe so. That could be quite good to be able to have someone to be able to make a single yellow color to become as a main variant. That will be quite possible to do it. So they'll be able to have to make it their own. So that will be able to show which color texture is definitely quite suited to be as the exact replica. Now, looks like this is going to be able to go closer in for it. Keep it in on the final turn, nice and easy. Now, this is going to be interesting to be able to get a good turn on it. Now, looks like going in on the second lap, 1 minute and 51.93 seconds. Now, this is going to be quite good for it. Now, looks like going in for it, and looks like the classic white is definitely in to make a good overtake attempt for it. So this will be able to have to keep in track of the certain cars will be able to go in for it. But no wait, I guess that's the Silverstone Metallic X5 was actually in. Going in nice and slow, just overtake the Toyota SFR. Okay, looks like the A-Bar 500 is definitely able to go for a little understeer. MX-5 is about to take an understeer turn to go in for it. Very good. Now, looks like only has to take 10-second gaps to go for it. This will have to take it a little bit nice and easy on it. So this is pretty good car to be able to drive better for it. So it also might need to be able to get everything well performed. To be able to have some good tires to be able to make it more faster than approved. So maybe there's only 2 Mazda Roadsters for the 4th generation, and there are only 2 first generation Roadsters is definitely able to join in for the race. Well, definitely that this is very good to interesting for it. maybe like the Porsche Roadster is definitely seen for it. That could be quite giving the third wheel will be able to step it in for it. Now, looks like approaching in on the Alpine A110. Just gonna have to take a lot of few horsepower to be able to speed it up for it. This wheel comes closer until the slower cars will be able to coming in for it. Right, coming in, just gonna take some few turns to be able to fall up by the apex. Now, luckily, this is going to be able to have a good slowing view to be able to drive around on the autofill track. Since driving the Nissan GT-R Super GT 500 2016 model, I did a lot of good time to be able to race hard for it. So, it also might need to have technique skills to be able to master this track. It also requires to have an experience to mastering any corners to be able to perform it. That could be the experience of all racing for folks. There's the A110, just gonna make a good pass on to the overtake. It looks like the DS 500 is definitely able to get a good slow time for it. Okay, very good. Blue flag comes in for it, folks, because this is where the last place car might go on, and then the first place leaders will be able to go through. Final lap is going on for it, and this is going to be quite very good to be able to have a good slow opportunity to be able to go in and give a good smooth call for it. Now, looks like this is going to get a little bit better turn on it. Demobus comes in for it. Very clever pass, and this is going to take a lot more turns to be able to concentrate with. Okay, fulfill the experience with the MX-5 will be go stronger. Take a lot of few turns to master it, because this is an excellent Japanese track. You'll be able to use this roadster to be able to fulfill its own heritage to be able to master it. Like closer. And I hope that this is going to be excellent to take the last turn for the final stretch. Spectator crowd see it and they just really enjoy it. Okay, so looks like the A110 is about to be making one final move until reaching up the checker flag, and then looks like taking a good comeback to be able to avenge the 4th generation Roadster. So, looks like the NA MX-5 is definitely takes the win. So, looks like the 4th generation is definitely did pretty well to come in 3rd. So, looks like that's going to be quite awesome to be able to have 2 Mazda Roadsters to be able to join in for it. And very well, for having some first place center earnings is going to be quite good success. So, this will be able to have to go for the next and final round of the short track. Will be able to go in for it. So maybe like the 4th generation Roadster did a good handling turn performance as well for it. So here we go to Scuba Circuit, where the home of the Roadster 4-hour endurance race is definitely able to come in for it. So this is going to be quite very good to be able to have the 1st generation MX-5 to be able to get ready to race back onto Scuba Circuit, and this will be able to race for the 4th generation model as well, and any other M100 cars is definitely able to go stepped in and get everything ready to go. So looks like this is going to be quite good for the final round of the race, because 2 ND Roadsters and 2 NA Roadsters will be able to get prepared to get started. Now let's go and get ready. Now this time TCS will be able to go off until maybe this will be to drive carefully until slow cars will have to go and find a way in to be able to get faster for it. So this is going to be excellent to be able to drive a sports hard car, because MX-5 deserves to have a sports hard compound to be able to drive faster for it. Make way for the MX-5 to be able to go in for it. Just kind of make one closer step to be able to overtake the Honda Beat. So this is definitely quite giving a good functionality for ever use for it. Hazard lights might be turned on for it as well, because this is definitely quite good, well operational to use the touchpad to be able to take a good look on it. Now looks like going in to overtake a few other cars might be coming in quite closer for it. So this is definitely excellent for the 1MX Roadster Cup, so this is going to be excellent to be able to bring it in for it. Just gonna have to get a good sliding turn to be able to get everything well organized for it. Now second lap is going to be on the halfway mark, so this will be able to have to keep up faster to be able to get a good maintained pace. We'll be able to get well suited for it. Now looks like only have 5 more to go. It looks like the Alpine A110 was definitely giving a little absence due to one good advantage run to be able to have a good successful win for it. Now, looks like the Porsche Roadster is definitely able to coming in for it, because I'm really sure that this is definitely quite excellent to be able to have Roadsters to be able to participate in the race. So this may be quite suited well to be able to have a good convertible top on it, so that will be quite excellent to be able to take a good look and see it for it. Taking a good straight pass on the Suzuki Swift Sport now. Looks like this is going to get everything a little bit closer on it. Okay, watch out. Just going to go and overtake the Porsche Roadster. Dirt lap goes in on the certain charm. Now, looks like the Mazda NC Roadster is taking in the lead, so this is definitely the perfect chance to be able to go and use the NA Roadster to be able to overtake its own Roadster by its new generation. Old versus new is definitely excitement to be able to have a good small competition to be able to get prepared for. So this is definitely quite an excellent race to be able to go for it. Top 2 with the same Mazda Roadsters with different generation models. Now this is definitely so amazing that they really wanted to race with 2 Mazda Roadsters as well by using 1st and 4th generation model as well. Now looks like this is going to be quite coming in for it. Just going to have to take a good mirror view to look at it for it. Final lap, here we go, and this is it. Slower cars are coming in, so this will have to be very careful to be able to make a wide open pass for it. Blue flag might be giving the call for it, so this will be able to have the last place drivers to be able to go proceed as well. And even the first place driver as well for it. Make that turn go in. I hope that this is definitely quite very good for a hidden headlights Roadster to be able to drive well for it. Now this is going to be quite excellent to be able to have a good handling turns to be able to drive normally for it. So I kind of think that 2-seater Roadsters is definitely quite giving a good key to be able to drive safely, to be able to driven on the road. So this will be quite very good to be able to drive it on the track. So this will also to get a good handling advantage to be prepared to be able to get a good turn on it. So looks like that was a pretty good Roadster-tastic MX-5 win. Well, speaking of which, because I know that the A110 took the winning spot for it, that was definitely quite surprising to be able to get everything done for it. So looks like just definitely end up in second place. So that was a pretty good race for the Alpine A110. And clean race bonus is definitely quite giving the extra to be able to have a good job for it. So looks like let's go and collect it in and then stacking up some miles to be able to go in for it. So looks like the results is definitely checked in for it. The NA is definitely able to drive most of it like the Roadster SMD model. So this is definitely quite very good to be able to show with the letter titles of the first gen models. But I hope that this is going to be able to show the difference of the Mazda Roadster models is definitely quite going for a letter titles to be able to come up for it. So this will also to be a very good race for only using with Mazda Roadsters for it. So that was pretty good for a 3-round race but using the Eunos Roadster 1989. So this is a very good car and very good style as the original. Now let's go for it to take a good single price earning to be able to receive for it. So let's go for the R2 small flakes. So this will be able to get a good collected check on it to be on the blue check mark. So looks like this is definitely quite very good for a red color for a Eunos Roadster for it. Now this will be a very good first generation Mazda Roadster, folks. Very good car, and a first generation is definitely became popular until 30 years has definitely made. So looks like the Eunos Roadster is 30 years old for this car, but this is definitely became very popular like any other Mazda Roadsters because this one is a fine legend. The legend of all Roadster for Mazda, and it also drives well for it. So maybe for the next one of the 5 cars, so looks like I'll be able to get ready to try it out with the Toyota GR Supra RC is the 2019 model. So this will be able to have to go a categorized order until this is definitely able to get well organized to be prepared for. So looks like the new Supra is next for the custom race, and then I'll be able to get ready to try it out. Well folks, glad that you're really enjoying this race, and I hope you really wanted to try that Roadster out. This one is a fine legend for this Roadster. So thanks for watching, and be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget to click the bell for some notification uploads if you want to see, and also the links on the description down below if you want to see more. So I'll be seeing you guys next time to continuing on for a custom race on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay cool.